Hiya, it's the Banda here from Lolli Lulu Crafts, and today we are going to be making a quick, easy but stunning looking Christmas card. And this is one that you definitely can make multiples of, and you can set them aside, let them dry off, and you can do them really quickly. And once you get on a roll, you definitely would get quite a few done, and the finished look, I think, looks really effective. So enough chit chat, let's get crafting. So the first thing I'm going to do is stamp the sentiment on the bottom of my card. I'm using this long DL card just because I thought personally for this particular card it would work really well, but it really is personal preference. And also, just as an aside, I'll put the items that I'm using across the screen for you so that you can see exactly what things are. But yeah, I thought we'd start by putting the sentiment down the bottom, because that would then give me a guide as to where I wanted to put these lines. So to create the strings, as it were, for my Christmas lights, I'm taking this aperture, just stencil, and I marker pen, and I'm just literally using that and just placing it. I'm doing it by eye. I haven't done it with pencil first or anything like that, but if you are a little bit nervous to do it just by eye, put it down by pencil first, then go over the top using the stencil again, but using your pen, and then you can, once it's completely dry, just erase the pencil marks. Now for my little lights, I'm using Nouveau Drops Perfect Pearls, I think they're called, and also some stickles. Now with all of these, I would suggest you check them, do a little test to see, because what you want is to make sure that they stay 3D, that they stay kind of bumped up. Stickles are the ones that you're going to have the problem with mostly, because they often sort of flatten down, so you just want to check that they're going to be okay. Also, just to say, a lot of my Nouveau Drops etc. are really old, so that's why you can see sometimes I'm struggling a little bit to get them out, because they're a little bit dry, a little bit thick, but they're still usable. So it just means I've got a little bit more effort to do them. But if you've got newer ones, you'll find it a lot simpler to do and a lot quicker than I am. And I just picked out a bunch of colours, really. I just was like, what do I fancy? And it kind of ended up, it doesn't have to be like Christmas colours, but you could just use red and green or whatever. But I just went for just a whole bunch of colours to make it bright and colourful and fun. And again, actually, you could change the shape of your dots somehow to make them almost flag shaped. So sort of go square, more square, or oblong very slightly, and then put like a happy birthday so they look more like bunting or triangles or something. I mean, it's just a little bit more fiddly to do that, I would say, but you can play around with it. This is a stickles, so you can see here it's quite heavily glittered, and when I tested it, it definitely, these two were very heavy in the glitter, and that I think is what made them stay more 3D, whereas some of the other stickles I tested didn't all stay up. They sort of flattened down quite a lot, so it was definitely worth testing. But it was nice to have that sort of glitter element in there. It doesn't really show so much here yet, but if you go across to the blog post, link will be in the paragraph below this video, you'll see the photos, and that was out in the sun, and you could really see how that picked up that glitter, and it just added a little something to those sort of light sort of effect. And yeah, here you can see I started to go across back with the sort of purple and sort of crystal colour, and then when I realised that I'd be kind of repeating some of the colours underneath each other a little bit too much, I did end up with some that are under each other a bit, but it wasn't too bad, so I just had sort of fiddled around with the positioning of them. But you literally are just picking them up and moving along to the next colour. I left the lids off, and then I just kept going, and it's really, really quick to do. And as I said, if you've got fresher drops and pearls etc., then you're going to find that that stays sort of thinner, so it's easier and quicker to get them out of the bottle. I had like clumps sort of blocking the nozzles a bit. The other thing I would say is that the Nuvo drops, etc., dry quite quickly. The stickles took overnight to be thoroughly dry, so this is now thoroughly dry and overnight, and you can see they're still sort of 3D and they look just so pretty. I think they really look effective. And the final thing I did was I cut a piece of red vellum and just stuck it on the inside as a nice sort of insert. But again, you don't need to do that, especially if you're doing multiples. That would sort of cut the time down and the effort, so you don't need to put that in. I was doing one single card, so I just thought it added a little something to it, but it isn't necessary. So there it is, a very fast but I think really pretty and effective card. So hopefully you agree, and I hope you enjoyed making this with me. But for now, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you again soon. Bye for now. Bye.